Okay.
Okay, so we can continue. Now you see my, I think, just a moment, it will be up. I understand why. Fine. You need to see that. Okay, fine. So this is first of all, we have already in Genesis. Genesis is the place. Now I'm quoting in Genesis from the place that God commanded Noah. Okay, we don't have yet the Hebrew nation here. It's before the Hebrew nation came to this world. Okay, look exactly what God is saying to Noah. Whoever spills the blood of a human being through a human being, is his own blood should be spilled for the image of God. He made the human being. Now, it's very tricky what is written down here. And usually when we're translating this, we are losing it a bit. But what is the meaning of through a human being? The meaning of this is that there is a human being inside a human being. The only time that I know that a human being is inside another human being is where a woman have a human being inside her. Okay, and the God is saying, be aware not to kill anyone who is in the womb of his mother. And of course, not to kill anybody who is already alive. Okay, not only not to kill those who are inside their mother's womb, but also those who are alive, not to kill them. And the reason is very simple. God made every human in the image of God. So when someone is killing someone else, he's basically like trying to kill a bit of God. It's hard to say that, but this is more or less the situation. I will give a parallel that our sages are giving, and it's going like that. Let's take, for example, that there were two identical twins, two who look very similar one to each other. And one of them was a king, and the other one was a thief, or someone who is killing others, a murderer or something like that. And one day, they managed to catch the brother twin that was a very bad person, and they judged him, and they decided that he's supposed to be killed because he killed already too many people and everything else. Now, if they will kill him and they will put him, put his picture all over the country and the phone and on the internet and on the newsletter and everything else, everybody will say, they killed the king because he's very similar to this person. So the king asked them, kill him. I have no choice. This is what you decided. And this is what the judge decided. But please don't show this to everybody else. And this is more or less the situation. When someone is killing someone else, he is killing the image of God. So we need to be careful. And this is what God is saying, again, before the Hebrew nation started here in this world, before we had the Hebrew nation, very important. And then we have in Exodus, in the Ten Commandments, also, thou should not murder. It's very important also to know the word is to not murder, because if someone wants to murder you, you are allowed to murder him before he will murder you. You don't need to wait that he will pull the trigger and then to say, oh, wow, amazing, I was survived and therefore I will kill him. But if someone, you know that you have intention to kill someone else, and we'll learn this in a moment, you need to kill him because the order is not that you should not kill, that you should not murder. Murder is just killing someone, but to not kill. Okay, let's continue. Rabbi Akiva said, okay, a human being, I'm reading number one.
Okay.
A human is precious since is created in the image of God. Okay, precious is that is very honorable. We'll see this already in the verse of Genesis. Every person is very.
He is created as an image of Hashem.
He's very honorable. We need to respect every person. Just like we want that people respect us, we need also to respect other people. That because everybody, all of us, came from the image of God. And then Rabbi Akiva said, and you shall love your fellow as yourself. This is a great Torah principle. Basically, this is the main Torah principle. Okay, the main thing of the Torah is to teach us how to behave one to each other. Let me explain this in a bit more profound understanding. God, who is one God, he created a lot of people here in this world. And each person that he created here, he is letting him or he's giving him everything in this world. So he's giving you, Lee, everything in this world. He's giving you, Ying, everything in this world. He's giving everybody everything in this world, also for me. So let's start fight. I want everything. You want everything, so we can fight. There's one thing that God is not giving. He is not giving, in any case, the possibility of love one to each other. This is something that we need to do. Now, when I understand that I don't need everything, but I can have very small amount of things to live correctly in this world, and I'm giving you space, just like God is giving me space to live here, and he's not fulfilling himself all over the world, so I won't be able to live here. He is giving me space, he's giving you space, he's giving everybody space, and I'm also giving space to others. And others are giving space and honor to me. And this is where love is starting to come between one and each other. And this is the way of the right way to live. Okay? If you will see the main sin that we saw in this world, at the beginning of the world, in chapter 4 in Genesis, was that Cain killed Abel because of jealousy, because of other things. And this is where you need to know. You should love your fellow as yourself. Just like I love myself and I want good for myself, I need to have love, justice, goodness for my fellow men. Those are the principles. From there, we can start to learn all the details of this thing of the bloodshed, and also to see, I will say, the positive reaction that we need to have, or actions that we need to have on this obeyment, on this mitzvah, on this commandment, because it's not only not to kill, there are also a lot of things that you need to do. To love your fellow man is something that you can do with a lot of things. The life of a human being was given by God, reading number 3. Okay, the life of a human being was given by God, and no one has authority to nullify it. Okay, it's not our authority to take life. Don't forget also that we have no possibility of giving life. Therefore, we have no authority of taking life. Okay. Even when someone is stealing from someone else, you can always say, okay, but you can give it back. But when someone is stealing life from someone else, he has no possibility of giving it back. Very important point. Therefore, whoever takes someone else's life or his own, no good, also his own life, violates the commandment of the Creator. The punishment of a murderer is execution by a court. So this is also very important to know. So first of all, point number 1, the one who is giving us life is God. Therefore, when someone is taking others' life, even if he is taking his own life, he is violating a very important principle of God. Again, I'm saying, he also doesn't have any possibilities of giving life back. So it's not refundable. It's not something that you can reorganize back. And the punishment is not that everybody can kill him. No. The punishment is that the court is supposed to kill him. We need to catch him. We need to put him in jail. We need to put him, to bring him to the police. We need to help the police to bring him inside the bars, behind the bars. But this is not our responsibility to kill him. We need to be very careful with this also. The prohibition of murder applies to an act committed directly, indirectly, or by an agent, okay? Whatever it will happen, if someone is taking life from someone else in any direction, this is prohibited. This is something that you're not allowed to do. Even though the punishment of execution by a court is reserved to someone who murdered directly, someone who murdered indirectly is still a murderer, and his sentence is determined in heaven. In court, they will kill only those who killed directly, okay? Only those who murdered directly, this is who the court is going to kill them back. But there's also a punishment by heaven. A lot of punishments God have. He can use bears, he can use snakes, he can use a lot of things to punish these men that murdered someone else indirectly. We have a story about someone who killed someone else, and there were no witnesses. There were no witnesses that he killed someone else. And God is organizing, okay, that this person will be in a place where someone else will kill him accidentally, or that there will be some animal that will kill him. God have a lot of messengers that can fulfill his will. Therefore, the court have permission to judge someone and to say if he killed directly, to kill him. But if he killed indirectly, okay, without any intention to do that, so the court won't kill him, but God will close this case. Fine. A national, in a moment I will give time to ask questions, okay? A national government may exact punishment even for a murder that does not require punishment according to the letter of the laws. Okay, so we have also another very important point. The government that basically is getting their authority from the human in this area, in this world, or in their country, I'll say it like that. Okay, the government is getting their authority and their possibilities from the human, from the nation that sent them to become the government of this period of time. And they have permission as a government, not as a person by himself, to establish laws and also much more restricted laws, okay? Usually we're not killing people who did it accidentally, but if the government suddenly understands that it's an important situation, that they're supposed to do something, and they are deciding to punish people, to kill people, also on this level or on another level, they have the permission of doing it. We need to know the government have the permission to do those things. Therefore, when government is authorizing the courts to punish someone, to kill him, the government have the possibility of that, and we are accepting this. Of course, I'm not speaking about a government who is doing evil things, of not killing someone, but taking, for example, parts of his body because they decided to abuse part of the people in their nation. I'm not speaking about evil government. Included in the prohibition of murder is an aberration of features, and mercy killing. Okay, there are two things that we in the Noahide World Center a lot of times being asked about killing infant inside the mother's womb. Okay, one thing, the abortion thing, and the second thing that we are being asked a lot of times is the mercy killing. Are we allowed to do a mercy killing? Are we allowed to do abortion? Now, whenever someone have a question, he's supposed to come and ask the rabbis. Okay, it's not, I will say something in general, but you can't say that the laws of the halakha are from the general principles. The general principles are that you're not allowed to do those things, okay? And I remember something like half a year ago, we got in the middle of one of the waves of the corona, one of the biggest situation of the corona, we got a question from a nurse in Brazil. Okay, this nurse asked us, they told her that she's supposed to move the oxygen requirement from one person to another one because this one already is old and he's supposed to die, and the other one is very young and they want to survive him. And she asked us, is she allowed to do that? If she won't do that, they will fire her. And they told her to do this a few times. She asked us if she's allowed to do that because it's killing the old one. Okay, so I won't go inside to the exact answer that we gave her. And the principle, we need to know that moving the oxygen requirements, okay, that people have from a person who is, that the movement of this equipment from this person might bring him to a situation that he will die. Therefore, it's not allowed. So you're saying, but he have a lot of suffering, you know, fine, we know that, but it's not permitted that you, with your hands, will kill someone else, okay? You need to give to God the decision when and how to take the soul of someone else. There's a difference, okay? We don't need to connect him to those equipment from the beginning, so he will die even, you know, faster. But if someone is connected, and now if you will take him out from this equipment, he might die, what we call the mercy killing. This is not permitted. It's not something that you are allowed to do. Any questions till now before we'll continue? As you can see, everything is very detailed from the sources. So if someone is knowledgeable, okay, a rabbi, you're finding a rabbi from, I don't know, that is coming to visit you and he's saying to you, this is what we've learned, don't hesitate, take the book and you can show him the sources, and he will see that those things are being written down from important sources in the Hebrew nation. Questions till now, everything is fine. What is happening? Feel comfortable, everything is fine. Okay, so let's continue on. Lee's here, okay. Okay, let's go to number 7. There are cases where abortion of the fetus is permitted, especially during the first 40 days of pregnancy, and or if the life of the mother is in danger. Where such issues arises, a rabbi who is familiar with them should be consulted. As I said before, there are times that you need to consult rabbis. In principle, again, I'm speaking here about the principle. In principle, if the life of the mother are under danger, so we have danger of life, one of them is going to die, okay, or the mother or the infant. So the infant who is not alive yet outside his mother's womb is secondary to the mother. But very important, as it's written down here, we need to ask when such an issue arises, okay? You need, when such an issue arises, you need to ask a rabbi who is familiar with those, to consult rabbis who is familiar with those issues. It's not a problem, you can send us a letter. We know rabbis relevant to speak with and to organize those questions. We have connections with a lot of rabbis in Israel, and this is something that you can do, okay? Fine, let's continue on. 8, it is forbidden to actively end the life of someone suffering from a disease, but it is not necessary to fight to keep him alive. Those are two different things. I don't know how much you're familiar with the policy that there is in each place in this world, and also with the medicine that we have today, the level of medicine and the hospitals that we have. There are all sorts of ways how we are managing or fighting to keep someone alive. He might suffer, we might not suffer because we don't know. Usually those people are under coma or not really understanding what's happening. But there are times that you're saying to yourself, I need to fight that he will stay alive. And maybe if you will manage to gap this problem that he is now standing, he will live for a few years. Usually when someone is if someone is young, but when someone is old, usually they're saying, the doctors are saying, okay, we have no choice. So there's a difference. From one side, you're not allowed to stop life of someone who is suffering from a disease. God forbid, if you have cancer or something like that, and he's saying to you, I'm suffering, please help me to die and everything else, you're not allowed to do that. On the other side, if someone is suffering and you can put him to all sorts of equipment that will stay him in a level that he will stay alive more and more, you don't need to do that, okay? He can die faster if you're not interfering any medical interference in there. Administering medication to lessen the pain is permitted as long as it is not a direct cause of death. Okay, this is also very important. We're not doing anything that will be a direct cause of death. The moment death is created, it is permitted to disconnect life support system. Okay, when the doctors are stating, this is it. At this moment, you can take out all of the support systems that there is, and not to leave anything. But you need to wait that the doctor will say, yes, it is. This is it. His life is ended. Even if in a situation where it is permitted, okay, as we said before, according to the letter of the laws, to discontinue treatment of a patient near death, it remains forbidden until the moment of the death it disconnected any life support system or respirator, or to withhold any food and drink. Sometimes there are places in the world, like for example, Switzerland, okay, where you can do all sorts of mercy killing. Therefore, in the law, it might permit you to do things, but it's not allowed to us to do those things, also not to a Noahide. In any situation where doubt arises, three people should be consulted: the patient, the doctor, and a rabbi. Okay? Of course, the patient, if he can discuss things and say to us things, this is what's written down in the booklets, but you need to consult others and not to do for yourself what do you think that you need to do, and that's it. Don't hesitate. Feel comfortable to pick up the phone call and to ask us, to discuss with us. There are times that are not so easy. I can say about myself and things that I know that it is very inconvenient, okay, to start to discuss issues like that with the doctors, and then with the family, and then with the rabbi. It's not easy. Sometimes it's also taking time, but this is how you need to do this. You need to be very careful. You can't say for yourself, okay, fair enough, I will take his life. It's not working like that, okay? Removal, number 10, removal of organs from a dead person for transplant purposes after causation of heart activity or brain death is permitted by law and even desirable. Donation of organs such as kidney for transplant from a healthy person that does not endanger the donor is permitted and even desirable. Okay, those are two parts of this halacha. Let me explain those two. First of all, sometimes we have people who died very early and their body parts can help others to live good life, okay? So it's permitted to use those body parts for others. More than that, it's also permitted for someone to say, I will donate a kidney. In Israel, for example, we have already more than 4,000 people who donated one kidney to others just because of altruism and trying to help others that they won't live all their life in dialysis. Okay, we have a very big amount of people who did it, and it's very desirable, and it's very honorable, and it's very altruistic thing to do. You are permitted to do that, even though now you will have only one kidney. But we know that you can live with one kidney. So it's helping others. So again, there are people who are doing that. Something that we need to know that it's happening, and it's okay. And it's not saying, but I'm now killing myself. No, it's okay. It is permitted for a doctor. I'm in number 11. Okay, it is permitted for a doctor to perform surgery even where risk is involved, if it's purpose to save the patient's life. I have a good friend. My wife has a good girlfriend, okay, for more than 50 years already, that she went to a surgery where they took out some sort of a cancer part, and he did the damage. So from now on, in the last few months already, she is paralyzed in half of her body. And she's very annoyed, and it's very bothering her. But the doctor took some sort of a risk, because you can leave the cancer inside the body of someone, and then he will die. Or you can take the risk of taking out the cancer, even though you might paralyze person, half paralyzed person, or something like that. So the doctor, a lot of times, have all sorts of inside debates in himself what to do and how to do the things right. So this is what we're saying here. It is permitted for a doctor to perform surgery even when risk is involved, if it's purpose to save the patient's life, that he will manage to live. So there is a risk, but he's not trying to kill someone or to damage someone. The main thing he's trying to do is that this person will be alive. Someone who kills by mistake. Now, this is very, very important thing also, because of the clearness is exempt from the death penalty. But if the one who killed by accident, through that murder was permissible, that person will, in fact, be punished for murder. Okay? Just a moment, I need to check something here. Just a moment. I want to be sure that I'm saying the right thing. Just a moment. Yes, this is what I thought. Okay, someone who kills by mistake because of carelessness, okay, he wasn't care enough. He wasn't looking exactly what he did. He was inside his phone when he was driving. It's a bit hard to say that, because I think that if someone is taking the phone while he's driving and then he's doing an accident and kills someone, this is not so easy to say these things. But I'm trying to give this as an example, okay? He wasn't careless enough. He wasn't careless enough. He wasn't care enough. He wasn't putting attention enough, okay? So he's not going to get the death penalty. But if he killed without any care, but he thought also that it is permitted to kill, this is where he's being punished too as murder, because he wasn't care, it's not that he was aware that it's not allowed to kill, and he killed someone, okay, by mistake. He wasn't aware that it's not allowed to kill because he thought that it's allowed to kill. So therefore, we have the penalty of the punishment of murder, and this is where we're defining the difference between someone who is not careless enough about killing someone else and the one who thinks that it's allowed, and this is why he's not care enough. He's doing those things. Let's read also number 13, and then we'll finish for today. It is permissible to participate in a war as a soldier of the state. A lot of time, the state, we said before, that the state have the permission to decide of all sorts of penalties. One of the things that the state is have the permission to do is to decide going to a war. And then you can't say for yourself, I'm a pacifist, I don't want to be in a war, I don't want to kill anybody else. Fair enough. As a patriot, as part of your nation, you are permitted to go to the war, and if you need also to kill someone there, because this is the laws of war, I will say it like that. Okay, this is how the world is working, and if you won't do that, basically nations will vanish, just like what is happening now in Afghanistan, where the last place that the people there will need to capture is Kabul. Okay, just a moment. Shalom, Ken. לא, אין. כן, בדיוק. שלום, שלום. So this is something that we also saying, we also need to know, we need to realize, and that when a war is coming, so we are allowed to go to this war, and also to, from time to time, also, unfortunately, to kill people. Questions till now, we started with a very heavy issue. After 2 weeks, we didn't meet one with each other. Do you have any questions? You see, now it's a time to pray to Thailand, that to move away, to move aside.
Yes, please.
Move aside from the death of the corona. Understand that the death of the corona is coming more and more to Thailand, right?
Not just only that.
So what else?
Pray
Share with me.
for. Yes. Now, in government, they want to kill people that who not agree with them. And police also kill people on the road now, because of the people want to democracy.
So the government is fighting against the democracy, against people because they want democracy, right?
Yes.
Fine. So let me share with you, and we'll say psalms together, all of us, and then we'll pray for the.
Because sometimes I want they die. I don't want them to become alive anymore, because they still kill people now. Then, yeah, good for study this topic.
Evanti, I understand. We need to pray what we need to do is to pray that the government will have the good common sense of living right and doing the right
Not just
thing.
government and king also.
Yeah, fine. So let's read for a moment these Psalms. It's 130, yes, exactly. A song of ascents from the depth I have called you, my God. Okay, not Lord, my God. My God, hearken to my voice. May your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. Okay? Oh God, if you keep a record of acquaintance, oh God, who will stand? For forgiveness is with you, in order that you be feared. I hope, my God, yeah, my soul, I hope, and I wait for your words, for his words. My soul is in the Lord, is in God. Among those who await the morning, those who await the morning, I'm waiting for being with God. Israel hope to the God, for kindness is with the God, and much redemption is with him. And he will redeem Israel from all their iniquities. And now we can pray for the government of Thailand and for the people of Thailand, that God will give also good sense inside the government of Thailand, and it will be all together in the right way of blessings to bring Thailand to the right path of health and wealth and peace among the people and among all of you together. God bless you all.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
Fine. Amen, amen. So now you have also all of these chapters. You can read it till the end. And next week we will continue on, and we will see more things about this. You will see that it's getting also more towards our life and things that we can do inside our daily life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you, Rabbi. Hope to see you next year in Jerusalem.
Hopefully, yes.
Yes. Okay.